On today's not so dystopian podcast,
Yeah.
not so dystopian update.
Not so dystopian world.
We have a fight with Mike, John and I. We've been fighting all week with Mike. But
Did we
basically,
fight? What did we fight about today?
We had a slight argument.
Oh,
just
yeah,
creative discussion.
That's right.
There's an article about some finance bros traveling 25 hours a week and loving it to get to their NYC jobs. Mike thinks that's okay, or he sort of spun it as it not being as shitty as John and I thought. Oh, that's what within the first 15 seconds.
You're not supposed to swear
anyway.
for the whole thing, but whatever. We don't do that.
Oops.
See, you guys always describe it as fighting, but that's just how I talk to people. What's the problem?
Well, anyway, I think you just like debating.
But we end up talking about universal basic income, and it's kind of interesting. It's a fascinating
topic. A little bit of Star Trek.
Yeah. Join us.
Yep. Good show. Stay tuned.
I saw this. I want to say I saw it on Twitter because it's a screenshot of an article coming from a phone, it looks like. But as soon as I saw it, I was just enraged. So Fortune wrote an article about New York City's super commuters who travel up to 5 hours round trip. That's 2.5 hours each way, more or less. They say it's worth it. So then they go on to talk about like why it's worth it. But let's I just want to really point the microscope onto the fact that these guys, let's say, are working 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's probably safe to assume that these are finance bros. So they're in the finance industry. They're doing 10-hour days. Yeah. That means that they're getting 15 hours on the clock, only being paid for the 8 to 10 hours, but up to 15, maybe 16 hours. Like you come home and you're going to sleep, and then you wake up probably at like 4 a.m. to get back in your car. Absurd.
It seems bonkers. Why would you do that? Honestly, why would anybody do that?
And
why
some
would
of the
anybody?
Some of the comments I saw was like, well, it can't be good for your like spine or back or your mental health to sit in traffic for 5 hours. Dude, forget about that. You're sitting in traffic. You're breathing in all that trash for 5 hours a day.
You've got AC.
You'd be on a train.
Could be on a train.
Well, these guys aren't.
You could be on a train.
Tech bros,
but 5 hours of your life. So that's what, 25 hours a week. So that's 100 hours a month. That's 1,200 hours a year that you're just giving away.
Yeah,
the framing that got
day a week, 52 days a year. At least.
The way it was posted in our Discord, which everybody should join, link in the description.
Join Discord.
Is the marketing campaign against remote work is truly relentless, and that's what I thought was. Meh.
No, but it makes sense. Why wouldn't they smear remote work? Like, obviously, they want nobody to be in control. They want everyone back in the office because they signed 5-year fucking leases that don't expire for another 2 years. Yeah, well, it's a ghost town in there. Of course.
Okay. I'm sort of with Mike a bit because it feels like framing it as a relentless campaign is kind of giving the people, the bosses, the managers, the middle managers especially, a bit too much credit, I think. It's like they've all kind of gotten together and they're having meetings in the office where they're going, right, what can we do now to let's plant an article in Fortune where we talk about 5-hour commutes and how it's really everybody loves it.
In the next year, we're going to have a leaker who's going to talk about how this is propaganda from the corporate world.
I mean, it's clearly wrong. So, yeah, it's propaganda.
So it's not, first of all, it's nothing new. This has been, people who work in New York or northern New Jersey have been doing this for decades. Should they do it?
When they didn't have a choice.
I mean, they've always had a choice. They could have lived in New York or not worked there. I mean, that's
clear. It's not a false choice in any way whatsoever. It's
this happens not only in New York. This happens in San Francisco.
Now we have learned. Now we have learned that sure they could work from home. There's nothing keeping that from that happening. I saw my mic spiking a little bit, so hopefully the recording doesn't get messed up. But this isn't new. It's also true that Fortune or Yahoo News or wherever this is posted, I don't understand the difference between like the Fortune headline and then it's showing up on Yahoo News. Or they embedding it? I don't know what that means. At any rate, it's also true that they have a significant pro corporate bias, and they probably wouldn't call it propaganda. They probably just, like their fat cat corporate buddies, think, oh, this is the way the world is supposed to work, and these guys are heroes, and this is a testament to the
people who
hard
write the
work.
propaganda don't generally call their own articles propaganda, though, do they? I mean,
I am more cynical now than I used to be. I think a lot of times people know that what they're doing is propaganda and lies.
Okay, all right.
Maybe,
That's
but
very.
my guess is this is more cultural. Like, to that, I don't think they think this is propaganda. I think they just think this is a noteworthy, like a fun news article about these cool guys who are having 5-hour commutes. I do.
Nevertheless, it is propaganda, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, these jobs can be done at home. What's wrong? Like, working in an office is a different culture. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
the 5-hour commute.
That's the 5-hour commute. I would probably say the 5-hour commute.
But this is what they're signing up for. This is their choice.
But oh my God.
Okay, Mike, what's your cutoff?
Then you can have that, but don't fucking try to change the mind of your readers to say like these superstars are doing this.
Well, I mean, that's how newspapers work. Yes, corporate media sucks. What else is new?
Thing which is horrendous, and most people think is awful and wouldn't put up with and dislike and sounds terrible, and spinning it as something that people love.
So don't do it. But these guys are probably getting $350,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if and you think that's okay?
Just to pull a number out of my head. What's okay or not okay? Like, they applied for and took this job. They chose where they want to live. Like, they're doing it.
They are allowed to do this.
Okay,
yeah.
What's
but
not
if
okay?
you're not, as a company, if you're paying out, let's say you're paying out $350,000, yeah, but you were like hardballing on going back to the office, like, your priorities are all types of fucked up, especially if the role does not need to be there. Like, if it's an IT role, yeah, or a facilities role, yeah, you have to be on site. Okay.
It depends in part on what they're paying for.
But they're paying for butts and seats, which is such bullshit. It's so draconic.
It's their money.
So archaic. Fucking move on.
I don't know if Mike's trolling us here. I just don't know. I think he is, but I just...
No, we've always had the same debate with Mike. Mike is like, there's something about an office. Yeah. Like, no, Grandpa, let's get you back to bed. Okay? Like, there is nothing special. All social interactions, water cooler bullshit can be simulated online. No, you do not need to go into an office.
Not true. It's not true. There's no way.
Super true.
No way. Not a chance.
This
Mike,
is just
you're just living the analog life.
Possible.
No,
it should be done. There should be regulations against it. They should be paid for the time. I don't know, but it's bad.
They should. They should be paid for the gas and the bullshit on their car and the fucking fumes that they have to breathe in and the time.
Oh God!
But to be fair, they're salaried, right? They're exempt from overtime, salaried employees, so it's okay if they're committing 16 hours a day.
So what's the alternative? If somebody lives in New York, they're just going to spend that extra time in the office.
No.
What? Why would they? Just go home early. Get there at 9 or whenever.
No, that's not how these jobs work.
Okay, well, what do you want me to tell you? Don't be a finance bro because your life's going to suck until you make a sick deal and then you retire with 20 mil?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it comes down to, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're...
I think you just nailed it, yes.
Yeah.
If you're cool with sitting in a car for 5 days, for 5 hours a day, go do that. But there are definitely other ways of achieving the same goal without sitting in a car for 5 hours a day and without working 16-hour days. Go ahead, Peter.
I don't like the tone of the article and the headline because it just says, this is cool. It's not cool.
That's true.
Yes. It shouldn't be spun as cool. I don't think it's healthy for anybody involved. Nope. But sure, I've always said that. So I was a developer for many years, and I've always said that if money was my primary motivator, I would have learned Java and gone to work for a bank. and I would have hated it, but I would have earned a lot of money and just spewed out shit software for the most of my life because, most of it is. But I didn't do that because I wanted to get paid well, but not that well, because that would mean sacrificing my soul. I guess this is just an article about people sacrificing their soul. That's like, hey, I'm a finance bro.
And I sit in my fucking Mercedes for 5 hours a day.
Yeah. And it's definitely true that I'll just say America has a work culture. Like, there's it's kind of in our ethos that like you work hard to earn a living.
Right.
And so this is kind of like furthering that mythology, that mythos of like, this is what it means to be an American, is you work hard and you do what it takes and you strive to be the best and you drive 5 hours
no vacation
whatever.
days.
Yeah.
That's how the holiday thing still blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like no statutory holiday given to people. No,
it's insane. First job I had more sick days than vacation days.
That's crazy.
Because most people don't use either. I was allowed. The law dictated that I was allowed a minimum of these number of sick days and no vacation days. So whatever. America does have a work culture problem.
Yeah,
but it's not as bad as like some places in Asia, like in Japan and Korea. Like
100%. I just read that Korea's raising the maximum hours allowed to work in a week to 80 something.
Jesus.
What? Yeah,
I didn't.
They're looking to raise the bar,
a little bit. So,
but the salary man of Japan, right, which is the stereotype, it is real.
What's the 996 thing they do?
Oh, that's China, I think.
Okay.
I forget exactly what it is, but it's like
9 hours.
Is it like 9 hours, 6 days a week?
Yeah,
it's 9 till 9. 6 days a week.
9 till 9. 12 hours, 6 days a week.
Insane.
Yeah.
So yes, while Eastern countries of the world do have weird, worse rules and standards and customs, it doesn't take away from the fact that America has shitty customs regarding work as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And glorifying spending 25 hours a week in a car to get to work is not good. Like we shouldn't be glorifying that.
It's also kind of propagating the other problem, which is that we don't have. So what do I say about? So we have unemployment, right? But we don't need everybody to work. We just kind of say they have to because we don't have anything else to do with them. Right?
No, it's true.
It's like, what are we going to do with all these people?
But that's what it comes down to.
Work. Right.
Like the only way you can survive in this country is to work, but we don't need everybody to work because there's just not that much shit to do. So then we're just stuck with like
just give them free money.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Universal basic income.
I know.
It's just not how it works. You can't.
Like there's so many benefits.
And free housing and free utilities.
Hopefully we get
you just
there.
Can't do it.
Oh, you know what though? I came across Peter would talk about like the ideal Star Trek future. There are entire genres of like financial study books, YouTube channels dedicated to the Star Trek economy.
Yeah.
That are pretty interesting.
There's also Star Trek there's a book about Star Trek physics as well, which is really interesting. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. No, just that. Thank you for putting me down that rabbit hole. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, and I think that Star Trek's predicted a lot of things.
It has. I mean, given it's had 400 episodes to do that, it's fair.
But still, the writers were able to predict a lot of cool stuff that didn't show up until 50, 60 years later. I think that's pretty awesome. And I'm hoping that the way civilization heads is in that like sort of, you don't have to work anymore if you don't want to. It's fine.
Yeah. Well,
I really hope so.
Ray Bradbury, Aldous Huxley generation of sci-fi writers like nailed a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Roddenberry.
Yeah.
Did I say Bradbury? Roddenberry. Yeah. So hopefully we get there financially.
Yeah. This is more dystopian sci-fi nightmare future than it is actually. Sorry, I know we were just about to end. I know.
Just about to hit the button.
What's the Brave New World? I think it is with Soylent Green. This is very much that kind of.
Is it Soylent Green from Brave
we're
New
all
World?
doing our bit to contribute towards society.
I was gonna say more like Star Wars Empire. Like it feels like you just have to contribute, no matter what. You just have to contribute.
It's sort of sci-fi in that like weird parody of the future where people are do your bit, smiley happy creepy face,
right?
Do your bit for society. All you have to do is just sit in a car for 25 hours a week. Hey, it's great.
Do your part. Yeah,
but it is just about finding busy work. Even in the cases in the US where they try and like have social welfare programs or even like somehow they talk about UBI programs with work requirements. It doesn't make any sense. You're just trying to find busy work for people to do.
Yeah.
That nobody wants or needs. Just give people money. There's plenty.
And,
it's not a big
I
deal.
think it's going to take a few. It's going to take a few more generations. I think. It's going to take a few more generations to kind of like die out the legacy systems, but like we might get there. At least some parts of the world will get there. I don't know if America will. I don't know if the UK will. Maybe Norway will. Maybe.
I think we have to accept that it's okay to do nothing and to be a slacker, and that's going to be the biggest challenge. Like that's the thing about UBI that I love. If it works, it could fundamentally shift humanity from being a work-based society into like culture and science, and it just allowing people to not do anything and to be on benefits and not do anything, and that's okay. That's the thing that people can't accept because they're like, well, I had to work and I had to do this, and they don't want other people to be in a more fortunate situation. And I think it's fine. The main complaint about UBI is that people will be slackers. And my main argument is that's okay.
Right. Some people will be.
I wonder what kind of crime statistics we'll see in a country when UBI gets distributed, like just universally when it's implemented. Just UBI implementation. What kind of instant drop in petty crimes there'll be, or an increase maybe? I don't know, but it'll be very interesting to learn.
We're not going to be around to see it, mate.
Maybe in a country like Norway we will. Who knows? Like, you don't know. Maybe Finland's just like, all right, it's time. We generate enough energy to support everyone.
We've got some experiments running in different U.S. cities. So there's a little bit of movement towards it. We'll see.
I think Oakland did an experiment. I wanna say that they did. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Good episode.
Now we can wrap up.
Yep. We'll see everyone tomorrow.
Join Discord.
Join Discord.